You ever been stuck in traffic just watching the clock tick, feeling like you have absolutely zero control?
Yeah, happens all the time.
Now imagine that feeling, but it's your job. Hauling tons of stuff across the country, deadlines breathing down your neck. That's kind of the world of a trucker, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about the roads anymore. It's about navigating, well, everything else. The systems, the expectations, they're shifting.
Right. So for this deep dive, we've looked at a bunch of different sources, trying to get a handle on what being a trucker really means today. Different angles, different viewpoints.
hmm We're looking at, the new generation coming in, what's happening in the market, some big regulations, stuff that really shapes the job.
And our mission here really is to pull out the key stuff that can help you, the trucker, feel more empowered, maybe a bit more in control, more supported, and better set up for the future.
Makes sense. It's a vital industry, but it asks a lot.
Okay, so let's dive in. This changing landscape. A huge piece of that is the new generation of drivers, right?
Oh, absolutely. And what's fascinating is how different their whole approach is. They're, digital natives, smartphones, apps.
Yeah, not just for fun, they're work tools.
Exactly. Navigation, talking to dispatches, managing their hours with the ELDs, the electronic logging devices. It's all tech-driven.
And their priorities seem different too. Less about just grinding out the miles, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. They're really focused on efficiency, sure, but also work-life balance.
Yeah.
Seems way more important than it maybe was for older generations who often prioritize just sheer hours on the road.
And they expect more from the companies they drive for.
Definitely. Things like, better onboarding, clear communication, just basic professional respect. That old school gruff, here's the keys, hit the road vibe doesn't really fly anymore.
And if things aren't right,
They talk about it. Social media is huge. They'll share good experiences, bad experiences. A company's reputation is really out there online now.
which is a big shift. Now, here's something really interesting. You mentioned the exit strategy. Even new truckers are thinking about this.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? A lot of them see trucking as maybe a stepping stone. They're already looking at investments, online income streams, ways to build something beyond just driving.
So some older drivers might look at that and think, I don't know, maybe they're not committed, but is it maybe just smart?
Could be.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe it's less soft and more savvy. They see the demands, the sacrifices, and they're thinking, okay, how do I leverage this experience for long-term security? It's about return on investment, in a way.
And that ties into what Hervey from Life, as a trucker, often says, right?
Yeah.
Seeing things from multiple angles. It's not just one way to look at it.
Exactly. And some carriers are catching on. They're offering better trucks, trying to improve home time, even supporting drivers with side hustles sometimes.
We're even seeing truckers building their own brands online.
Yeah, the YouTube truckers.
Yeah.
Sharing their life, their tips, turning content into income. It's a whole new way to be in the industry.
Okay, so there's this new energy and new approaches. But there's also this other feeling a lot of truckers talk about, feeling kind of trapped, burned out.
Right. And maybe burned out isn't even the right word sometimes. It's more like being stuck in a system that feels broken.
What does that look like from the cab?
Oh, it's that constant kind of blah feeling,
Oh.
Even when the miles are there, dreading the next dispatch notification, feeling like you're just running on a hamster wheel, not really getting anywhere.
And our sources point to systemic issues causing this.
Yeah, definitely. It's things like dispatchers who seem to only care about the load, not the driver's hours or well-being. It's waiting unpaid for hours at shippers or receivers. That's basically time theft, right?
Right, stealing your time.
And sometimes just a real lack of genuine support from the company. Unrealistic expectations become the norm.
So it's not necessarily a personal weakness if you feel that way. It's the system itself ignoring the driver's needs.
Exactly. Like you wouldn't blame a truck for breaking down if it never got serviced. The system needs maintenance too.
And the constant stress that takes a toll on health, both mental and physical.
For sure. But okay, the good news is drivers aren't powerless. There are things you can do to take back some control.
Like what? What are the practical steps?
Well, first step, maybe surprisingly simple. Track your time. Like really track it. Where is it actually going? Those weights, bad communication, find the leaks.
Knowledge is power, basically. Identify the problem.
Exactly. And then, this can be tough, but be willing to cut ties. If a company or a dispatcher is consistently toxic, maybe it's time to look elsewhere. There are better carriers out there.
And maybe redefine what success looks like for you.
Yeah, that's huge. Is it just about the miles? Or is it about having some control, decent home time, feeling respected, maybe fewer miles with a better company is actually more successful in the long run?
Which brings us back to that exit plan idea.
hmm Not necessarily quitting tomorrow, but building towards something. Having a plan gives you options. It gives you hope. And this is where places like lifeasttrucker.com and retirefromtrucking.com come in.
What kind of things are they suggesting?
A lot of focus on income streams outside of actually driving. Starting that YouTube channel, maybe learning about affiliate marketing, even using AI tools to create some passive income, or learning dispatching, brokering.
Skills you can use even if you're not behind the wheel.
Precisely. The idea is building a shield, against fluctuating freight rates, economic downturns, stuff you can't control as a driver.
The folks at Retire from Trucking talk about recurring online income giving you stability.
Yeah, and the power to maybe retire earlier or on your own terms. It's about using that off-duty time wisely, not just resting, but investing in yourself, learning new skills.
Because, let's be honest, some companies might actually benefit from high turnover, right? Keeps wages down.
It's an unfortunate reality in some parts of the industry, and many drivers might be getting paid less than they're really worth without even realizing it. Having other options, other income, gives you leverage.
Okay, speaking of economics, the used truck market. Prices have dropped quite a bit recently. What does that mean for truckers?
It's kind of a double-edged sword, really. For, let's call them smart buyers, maybe an owner-op looking at a truck, or someone new coming in with a solid plan, it could be a real opportunity.
Lower prices, maybe more room to negotiate?
Potentially, yeah. Could make getting into ownership a bit more accessible. But, and this is a big but, you have to be super careful.
How so?
Due diligence is key. Thorough inspections are absolutely non-negotiable. Get a professional to look it over. Check those maintenance records. A cheap truck with hidden problems is no bargain at all.
Right, it can become a money pit fast.
Exactly. Now, on the flip side, if you're trying to sell a used truck right now,
It's tougher.
yeah, it can be challenging, especially if you just financed it recently or maybe you bought it planning to flip it quick. Those lower resale values can really hurt.
So it favors buyers who've been careful with their money, maybe.
Generally, yes. People who saved, planned. They might find good deals. Sellers might need to be more realistic on price or look at different ways to sell. So, bottom line, research, inspect, be realistic.
Okay, let's shift gears to regulations. California's AB5 law that's been generating a lot of buzz.
Oh, yeah. It's a big one. Even though it started as a law aimed at the whole gig economy, it's really shaken up trucking.
How does it work, exactly?
It uses this thing called the ABC test to decide if someone is an employee or an independent contractor. And the tricky part for trucking is the B part.
Which says?
It basically says the work being done has to be outside the usual business of the company hiring you. For a trucking company using owner-operators to haul freight, well, that's a problem. Hauling freight is their usual business.
So it directly challenges the independent contractor model for owner-operators.
Pretty much. It could mean drivers get reclassified as employees, which changes everything. Pay, benefits, how they work. Companies might have to completely change how they operate.
And we've seen effects already in California.
Yeah, some drivers just avoid the state now. And there are strong opinions all around. Some say it protects drivers, ensures fair wages. Many owner-operators fiercely want to stay independent. Even the big carriers have different takes on it.
And it's gone all the way to the Supreme Court.
Well, the California Trucking Association is challenging it, saying it conflicts with federal trucking laws. The Supreme Court has to decide whether to even hear the case. But if they do, the ruling could impact independent contractors everywhere, not just in trucking.
So even if you don't drive in California, pay attention to this one.
Definitely. Stay informed about labor laws where you operate. Make sure your own business setup is solid. And again, having those other income streams. It's a good buffer against regulatory changes you can't predict.
Makes sense. Okay, last big area, safety and compliance. The CVSA Roadcheck Blitz is coming up right, June 4th to 6th, 2025.
Yep, annual inspection blitz across North America. They do intensive level line inspections, checking the driver, the paperwork, and the truck itself.
And the focus this year is brakes.
Brakes are the big focus for 2025,
Yeah.
and that's huge because brake violations are consistently one of the top reasons trucks get put out of service. So yeah, critical area.
What kind of things are they looking for with brakes?
Oh, lots of stuff. Air leaks, worn pads or drums, ABS warning lights being on, slack adjusters out of whack, anything that compromises braking performance.
And getting an out-of-service violation for brakes is bad news.
Very bad news.
Yeah.
Means downtime, lost money, points on your CSA score, which can affect your record, your insurance, even your job. Plus, obviously, delays.
So preparation is key. What should drivers be doing?
Thorough pre-trips. Every single day, especially leading up to and during the blitz. Really listen for air leaks, visually inspect those pads and drums, make sure your ABS light cycles correctly, and have all your documents ready, license, med card, logs, everything in order.
Good advice. And related to brakes, there's also a Freightliner recall.
Yeah, affects over 6,000 newer Cascadias, certain 2024 and early 2025 models. There's a potential issue with the brake modulator valve.
And that sounds serious.
It is. It could cause brakes to apply suddenly or maybe not apply quickly enough. Either way, it increases the risk of a crash significantly.
So what should Cascadia drivers do?
Check your VIN number immediately. You can use the NHTSA recall website. If your truck is on the list, contact a Freightliner dealer right away to get it fixed. Don't wait on that.
Okay, so whether it's a recall or getting stopped during the road check, downtime can happen. It's frustrating.
Super frustrating. Lost miles, lost money.
But could it also be an opportunity like we talked about with the exit plan?
That's a great way to frame it. Instead of just sitting there fuming, maybe use that unexpected downtime. Work on that side hustle idea, research online courses, update your business plan.
Turn that negative into a positive, basically. Invest that forced downtime in your future.
Exactly. It's about shifting your perspective. See it not just as lost time, but maybe as found time to invest in yourself, whether that's double-checking your brakes, dealing with a recall, or learning something new online. Every step builds more control.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway feels like, yes, trucking is changing, there are challenges, but you, the driver, aren't just stuck reacting.
Right. Understanding these shifts, the new generation, market changes, regulations, safety focus, that's the first step. Then it's about being proactive.
And managing your time, not just for the load, but for yourself. Investing in skills, exploring those online options.
Absolutely. And keeping that open mind, seeing things from different angles, like Hervey from life, as the trucker suggests, respecting the different experiences out there.
It really boils down to taking steps, however small, to build more security and control into your career.
Couldn't agree more.
So maybe that's the final thought to leave you with. What's one small thing you can do today to build a bit more control? Is it that extra check on your brakes, looking up that recall info, or just spending 15 minutes exploring one online skill? That first step matters.
And don't forget resources like lifeisatrucker.com and retirefromtrucking.com are out there if you want to explore more. They offer a lot of support and ideas.